Firstly, Happy New Year, or belated Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm aware it's the end of the second week in January, so if I've offended you by saying it a little bit later, I apologise, but I'll wish you all the best for 2018 nonetheless. The reason for the video today is I'm just sort of keen to perhaps get out some of my goals for 2018, what I'm looking to work on and improve as I sort of going into year 4 of 5 of trying to get to a scratch handicap golfer from effectively 18 is where I started off at. And I've been sort of charting my progress for a couple of years on my Facebook blog, but decided to put things down in video so it can be thrown back at me at some point in time. Let me perhaps start off by maybe reviewing what happened in 2017 and how that was for me, and then really touch on the main piece of this video, which is about what I want to do in 2018. So 2017 was another good year as far as progression. I started the year at 10.0 as a handicap, and I finished it at 7.0. So I dropped 3 shots, which was good. But if I'm candid, I think actually my handicap will probably be lower than that, and I'm hoping to drop that handicap over this year. And I'm actually playing better than that at this moment in time, but just not put enough medal rounds in recently to reflect where my golf is at. So I'm looking to try and do as many medal rounds as I can over the coming weeks and months. But I managed to get to the final of the scratch match play competition in my club, as well as the foursomes final, another semi-final in one of the other single match play competitions. And so overall it was a pretty pleasing year. I did very well in the match play. Unfortunately I didn't win any of those finals. I still have a trophy from the year before sitting there, which I'll have to give back to the club at some stage, but it was another positive year moving forward. And I think the only area where I really wish I could have improved further on was just getting more medal competitions done. I was in so many match play competitions, I just did not get the chance to play enough medals. But that's something I'm looking to rectify this year. Improvements in my game, so I got custom fitted for my driver 3-wood and for my irons and my putter. So that happened kind of steadily over the year, so I've now got a full bag. I'll need to get some wedges at some point during this year, but effectively I now have a bag that is fitted to me, and the longer I play with those clubs, the more comfortable I'm feeling and the more consistent results I'm getting. So I'm looking forward to using that moving forward. And I suppose the other major thing from last year is I learned how to read greens properly, and that's by using Aimpoint. So I went on a couple of Aimpoint courses at Bury St Edmunds Golf Club, where Jamie Donaldson, who's a pro over at Woburn, came over and did a couple of sort of master classes on Aimpoint green reading, so just reading slopes and speeds of greens, and that really helped my game. Certainly the weakest part of my game, getting tee to green has never been an issue. It's around the greens and on the greens that have kind of been my issues, and I saw huge improvements after doing that putting course. My short game improved a lot last year, but that's still where I can improve most moving into 2018. So that's reviewing 2017. So where do I want to go 2018? So as I mentioned at the beginning, my handicap is 7.0 at the minute. The aim by the end of this year is to be 3.0. Those of you who are single finger handicappers will probably roll your eyes at that sort of stark improvement in a year, but I think that's achievable, just given the golf that I've been playing recently. Certainly my last 6 rounds of 2017, and bearing in mind it's November, so ball's not travelling further, you're not getting any run out, etc. I know you could argue that the greens are perhaps a little bit more receptive. It's just sort of flag hunting, but even still, I was shooting between 73 and 78, and they were in windy and more difficult conditions. So my scoring is definitely good. There's definitely the potential there. It's just I've got to do it in competition. So the big goal is to get that handicap down to 3.0. And I'm only going to do that by playing more medal competition. So I've kind of committed to at least a couple of times a month playing in the weekend medals. So I've managed to negotiate some family time whereby I can get out and squeeze out a couple of rounds during the weekends to get towards that goal. How am I going to go about getting down there? The big improvement has got to come in the short game, which is why I've invested in some reading material. I've been told James Seekman, this guy will apparently transform my short game. So this book came the other day. I've read the first 3 chapters, looks very good. I put a message out on Twitter that I got it, I was looking forward to reading it. The amount of response I had, bearing in mind it was a random tweet, the amount of response I had was ridiculous about how much is going to help improve my game. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that. Because I think certainly getting up and down from whether in bunkers or just around the greens, that is where I'm going to score better. And so it's that short game that's really going to help me take my game to the next level. The other area that I'm looking to improve, I made a couple of swing changes recently, a couple of grip changes, so I'm working with my coach on that. And with those swing changes, I'm also doing some more specific golf training with regards to speed of my swing. So I have quite an efficient swing. It's not the fastest swing, but I get a lot of efficiency out of it. So I'm just trying to up that by a couple of miles an hour so I can get a bit further distance. Further distance means hitting less club into certain greens, which hopefully will mean more proximity to the hole more putts, etc. So all relatively self-explanatory, but those are all the things I'm kind of working on during the winter whilst it's cold outside. So with that in mind, I think that getting down to 3 is achievable. The other couple of goals I have this year, and I've got my little Peter Finch battle board up here. I think the 2 main ones are, one, I want to shoot level par. I've never done it. I've shot 3 1-over par rounds at my club. To be fair, I've never really come close to shooting level par, if I'm honest. In all 3 of those rounds, I birdied the 18th, so I was 2 over coming down 18. So I want to shoot level par. I know it's in there. It's always just a couple of holes of mental relapse that kills me, which is the other investment is in this book, which is Be a Player by Pia Nilsson and Lynn Marriott. These are the guys who were behind Annika Sorensen's career, and she was very mentally tough. And that is a great read. I have read that. I think I'm going to take a lot of stuff out of that moving forward. So going back, shooting level par, and then on top of that, shooting under par. I know I can shoot, I can birdie, blitz. I've shown I can do that. I'm averaging at least sort of 3 or 4 birdies a round. I'm not too wild off the tee, so I don't see that as, it's not an impossibility for sure. And I think I could probably do both those goals relatively quickly. Just need the right conditions and the right mindset on the day to get that done. The other big goal I really have this year, well, two big goals, I suppose. One, I want to play for the scratch team at my local club, Links in Newmarket. That's something I'm really keen to do. Because I think playing with better players will help me improve. But also I just love match play competition. I love the dynamics of it. I like the competitive nature of it. It appeals to me, having been somebody who's really enjoyed playing competitive tennis and squash over the years. I just enjoy that kind of one-on-one combat. It's a bit different. Doesn't matter if you have a blow-up hole. You can generally get things back. So playing for the scratch team at my club is something I want to do. And then the other really big one I'm desperate to try and do really is get a hole in one. And I know it's everybody's goal ultimately. I came so close this year in one round in particular. I hit the flag on a 155-yard par 3, and it settled just by the flag. It was probably 2 or 3 inches by the flag. One bounce hit and then stopped back down, didn't drop in unfortunately. And then 5 holes later on a 210-yard par 3, I hit a glorious 4-iron into it. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, trickled up, and literally I saw the people on the tee ahead of me jumping up and down. I thought it had gone in at one point, but it was that short. So that's a game goal this year, to get that hole in one. I know everybody wants one, but I want a proper one. And that's a note to Mr. Daniels, if you're watching. I'm not. I want a proper hole in one that goes in the air, not a skanky one. So those are kind of my main goals for this year, and that's how I think I'm going to, certainly improve and try and get down to that 3 handicap that is the ultimate goal for the end of the year. I think the other thing I'm really keen to carry on doing, I've been doing more and more of this over the last couple of years, which is just remembering why I took up the game in the first place. and that's going and playing inspirational courses. You're going and playing, classic links courses, well-renowned courses. To remember that I'm playing this game because I enjoy it. I was fortunate enough to play Hillside and West Lancs up near Liverpool last year when I went to go and watch the Open at Royal Birkdale. Two phenomenal links courses, and I would urge anybody, if you're in the area, go and play them. They are phenomenal. And I also managed to play Butch Harmon and Tiger Woods' old course in Vegas called Cascata. Again, just an amazing experience, and getting the opportunity to play those sorts of courses and being good enough to kind of appreciate it and not being dominated by the course is something I've really enjoyed, and it just brings out the creative aspect of your game. So I'm definitely looking to do more of that this year. I've kind of earmarked that I'd like to play the Kent links courses, so your Royal St George's and Cinque Ports and Princes, Surrey Sandbelt, the Sunningdales of this world, Walton Heath, and then ideally up to Scotland. I've got family up there, my brother's up there, so I hopefully use him as a launch pad for a family holiday, shall we say, to go and see courses like North Berwick. I'm very keen to play North Berwick. I know it's a classic, and Royal Dornoch, which I think is number one on my bucket list this year. Royal Dornoch up in the Highlands. It's supposed to be a phenomenal place. And then the final golf-related goal this year is I'm keen to get to the Ryder Cup. Two of my good buddies went to Glen Eagles a couple of years ago. I was gutted I couldn't join them then, but I'm going to try and make the effort to get there this year. It's in France. I'm a bit of a Francophile, and I think there's an opportunity to play some golf on the way there or coming back from there. So that's the final aim for this year. So that's me. That's me for 2018. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and comments are. I appreciate there's some relatively lofty goals, but I'm one of these people I like to aim relatively high. I tend to get quite near to the goals I set myself, but I'm aware that this year it's certainly some lofty goals, but I'll certainly look forward to keeping you posted on how those are developing, and welcome any thoughts, feedback. If you think there's any decent books I need to be reading about how I can potentially get there, I'm also interested to hear. But until next time, look forward to chatting with you soon. Cheers, bye.